So I wanted to do a little trophies video and like achievements video. So here is how to get all 33 trophies. And then I did break down 3 of the trophies for abridged lore papers and all of the tapes so that you can get those. And because this was the first time that I got all of the lore papers, I also went in and read like everything. So stay tuned for my reaction and the beginning of my deep dive because I have been obsessed with my theories. So here's my trophies. Number 1, dismembered. Complete the interaction with mommy after she takes your hand when you use it on the red-handed door, and you should be able to get the trophy. Number 2, taking charge. Make and take a green hand. Number 3, musical memory. Beat musical memory. Number 4, Whack-a-Wuggy. Complete the Whack-a-Wuggy game. Number 5, statues. Escape the statue game. Number 6, what have you done? You have to defeat Mommy Longlegs by trapping her in that spinning mechanism. Number 7, escape. Basically, board the train and finish the game. And once you do that, you will gain the trophy. Number 8, memory master. Beat the memory game with no errors.
Oh, it broke. That's no fun.
Number 9, shot in the dark. Finish Whack-a-Wuggy without using your flashlight.
Oh, you did it.
Number 10, abridged. Complete the water treatment puzzle in 8 moves. Number 11, ahead of schedule. Complete the game within 45 minutes while having all of the train codes. Number 12, undefeated. Complete the entire game without dying. Number 13, avid reader. Collect all of the lore papers throughout the game. Number 14, avid listener. Basically, you got to go through the whole game and find every VHS tape, and you have to listen to all of them. Number 15, Daisy Trophy. When you first walk into the office, the trophy is sitting right on the desk. Be sure to grab it along with the other items. Number 16, Train Trophy. Inside the PlayStation in one of the jungle gym bits is the train trophy. Just go up the little net and collect it. Number 17, Green Hand Trophy. This trophy is sitting on top of the machine that produces the green hand. Number 18, Bunzo Bunny Trophy. Use the giant claw to pick out the trophy from the top of the box. Number 19, Kissy Missy Trophy. When you're going up the broken stairs right before you get to the candy cap, the Kissy Missy Trophy is laying on one of them, so just pick it up on your way by. Number 20, PJ Pug a Pillar Trophy. When you're doing the game statues, go through the hard tunnel, and it should be somewhere on the left. 21, Berry Cart Trophy. When you're making the toy to get into the door, and you have to go on the elevator, go up, and it should be sitting on one of the conveyor belts. Number 22, Mommy Longlegs Trophy. When you're walking through one of the vents and the vent falls out from underneath you, right past that is the trophy around the corner. Grab it before you go down. 23, Claw Trophy. When you're walking up towards the train, look up on the banister and grab the trophy from there. Number 24, Sweet Revenge. In the room where all the barrels are blocking the door, grab the Huggy Wuggy cutout and knock him over. Okay, trophy number 25, Bad Listener. When you finish powering the room and Poppy wants you to follow her through the vent, stay behind until you get the trophy. Okay, number 26, Talk to the Hand. So after Mommy takes your red hand, she's gonna descend from the ceiling to talk to you. When she gets close enough, smack her. Number 27, the Scariest Dinosaur. When you get to the room with the giant claw, press the button to listen to all of the dinosaur's jokes to get the trophy. Number 28, Sugar Rush. Overfeed the candy cat cutout. Number 29, Bad Hiding Spot. So, when Mommy plays hide and seek with you, get caught immediately. I literally just stood there. Number 30, Is She Gone Yet? When you're hiding from Mommy in the ceiling, hold on to that until you get the trophy. It should take 30 seconds for that to happen. Number 31, Your Fire. When you're fixing up the furnace and you turn it on, step into the fire and allow yourself to get got by the flames. Number 32, Whistle Blower. When you reach the train, pull the whistle 3 times. Number 33, Fly in a Web. You gain this trophy by literally completing and obtaining all other trophies of the game. Good luck. Alrighty, let's get these last pieces of lore and then we're gonna read all of them. Okay, so Experiment 814. Notes, this experiment utilizes a live rat. Rat was fed 3 portions daily for 2 weeks. At the end of the 2 weeks, the rat was killed and submerged into a poppy flower and preservative gel mixture. 1 week later, an electric shock was applied to the rat, still in the gel, in an attempt to revive it. The rat remained unresponsive. Analysis. I still believe in the potential of the poppy flower. Its unusual properties lend me to believe that the proper mixture and procedure could have life-altering properties. The poppy flower has for a long time carried heavy symbolism, and I don't believe that's for no reason. Perhaps something larger than a rat would yield different results. I don't like what that's implying. Because we already know that there are people, whether they are kids or employees, who got, okay? If they tried this out on those people, then they killed the kids, the co-workers, and then they preserved their bodies and tried to revive them. So that's not good. Let's look at this next one. Assessment form, M. Lotta. Game station test subject assessment form. Subject name, Wakayla Hyssop. Proctor name, Mateo Lotta. Assigned toy, Candy Cat. Trial 1, musical memory. Performance 1-5, 4. Results, Wakayla is very accurate and fast. Few mistakes were made. Trial 2, Whack-a-Wuggy. Performance 1-5, 3. Results, her accuracy with the grab pack is subpar. Spatial awareness is subpar. Reaction time is fast. Trial 3, Statues. Performance 1-5, 4. Results, completely lacks focus. Michaela was very engaged. Michaela, but her name has been Wakayla this whole time. Was that a typo? What you mean? Michaela was very engaged with the previous tests. However, something within Statues is drawing her attention away from the obsta. The obsta what? The obstacle? Why is this one not finished? Like, was this a mess up? Like, they thought that her name was Wakayla, and so they put Wakayla the whole time and then realized that it's Michaela. So in the results for the last one, they called her Michaela, and then it dawned on them in the middle of writing the whole thing that they'd have to redo it, so they stopped in the middle of writing. Or like, did she or he, I think it's Stella actually, did they, see what was drawing her attention away from the obstacle? So that's interesting. Okay, so this one is assessment form S. Abel. Game station test subject assessment form. Subject name, Michaela Hyssop. Interesting. So the other one was from Mateo Lotta. And now this one is from proctor name Sarah Abel. So first Mateo did it, and now Sarah is doing it, and they're both on Michaela Hyssop. So maybe Mateo just messed up. her name. So maybe because she being Michaela, maybe because Michaela got distracted during statues, someone else ran a test on her, and so Sarah was doing it. What? Okay. Assigned toy, Candy Cat. Trial 1, musical memory. Performance 1-5, 3. That's worse than what I believe it was last time. Results. She has a good grasp on the concept and decent performance, but Michaela made mistakes on several of the color patterns. Her posture indicates to me that she was beginning to panic whenever she got a color pattern incorrect. Interesting. Trial 2, Whack-A-Wuggy. Performance 1-5, 3. Results. Michaela had trouble wielding the grab pack, often unable to accurately fire at a hole. She reacted quickly whenever she noticed a Huggy Wuggy toy, but was slow to notice them in the first place. That's also very different. Trial 3, Statues. Performance 1-5, a 1. Results. Michaela is not paying attention. She is screaming and pointing at something else in statues when nothing is there. Lucky for her, PJ Pugapillar is so far behind that he can't even see. This one is also cut off. First of all, here's what I think happened. Well, I have two theories. The first theory is that Mateo wrote this review about Michaela, and he got her name wrong a lot of times in that form, and it wasn't to their standards. So they had a second person, Sarah, come in and go back over the test with her, and given how everything happened in the first test, I'm assuming everything was under wrap and everything was good, and then everything was falling to shit in the second one. Like, everything was fun and games in the first one, and then stuff started happening in the second one. Because she did significantly worse in the second time around than she did in the first time. Because I'm pretty sure, yeah. Musical memory went from a 4 to a 3. Whack-A-Wuggy was the same. But Mateo said that she was subpar, and Sarah was like, she don't know what she's doing. And the performance from Statues went from a 4 to a 1. So the results is drastic, going back and forth. And both of them stopped mid-sentence. So either we're missing the rest of what was said and there's another paper somewhere, or both Mateo and Sarah saw PJ Pugapillar. Because I'm assuming that they're watching her as she's doing these things and taking note of how she's reacting in her performance and all of the other stuff. So I'm assuming that as they're writing it, they're realizing that she's freaking out over something, and maybe they both saw PJ. All right, transfer request. Interesting that there would be a transfer request after all of those. Oh, but this is a different person. Okay, transfer request. Experiment 1222. Mommy Longlegs. Subject, Marie Payne. What do you mean by subject? Did you turn Marie Payne into Mommy Longlegs? Because the experiment is Mommy Longlegs, but the subject is Marie Payne. I don't like that at all. Abilities. Mommy Longlegs has the unique ability to stretch any of her limbs for several hundred feet. Yeah, she does. This includes her fingers, arms, hair, neck, waist, and legs. She's very hostile towards the staff, but is very motherly and acts warmly towards the other experiments. She is protective of them. Oh. Okay. I'm taking notes here. Interesting. Problem. The hostility is quickly becoming problematic, but perhaps there is a solution to put her in her place. Proposal. Mommy Longlegs would be perfect for facilitating everything with the children in the game station. She has the warmth that a mother should, and any rowdy child can learn to listen to their mother. It makes sense that her seeing these children daily would improve her behavior, and it is very unlikely she will act out in front of the children. Have her transferred to high security maintenance immediately. Conditioning can begin. Okay, but are we sure about that? Because have you seen these games? Specifically Whack-A-Wuggy. There's blood all over that game. All over the walls. And PJ Pugapillar, literally built, unless they changed it, is literally built with no escape. Like, it is a dead end. Like, you go through the obstacle course, you get to the end, and there's a mound of dirt. And no matter how much you try to climb up the mound of dirt, you can't get past the dirt. I literally had to break through a window using the grab pack to escape the statues game. So, in the event of it actually being a game for a child, the child would make it to the end where the mound of dirt is, and I'm assuming that maybe there is a door over there that me as the player can't access, but then Mommy Longlegs and whoever was, watching the child and writing the report about them can bring them back through the game to the exit until it became a problem and PJ was no longer just a toy. Just, a thing on a leash. Something that could be pulled back as to not get too close to the children. And in terms, all of those little burrow holes throughout the entire thing, a child could be dragged into that by PJ. So, unlikely to act out because the child is there? I don't believe that. Alright, Warrenback Construction. Okay, so now they got construction going on in here. Warrenback Construction Company. This is Eddie responding once again on behalf of the Playtime Co. Toy Factory. Once again, as in this is not the first time that construction was a topic of conversation. Yes, it must be in complete secrecy. Why? This project should only be known about by those with the authority at Warrenback and those with the authority here at Playtime. I mean, to an extent, I can understand that, but like, if you're doing construction on this building where all these kids are coming and playing and being at, I mean, some of it's got to be out in the open, right? As promised, you will be compensated very well for this secrecy. Upwards of $100,000 keeping in mind that this is a ballpark figure. We're willing to provide the proper equipment needed for excavation. However, the more independently you are able to work, the more compensation I can offer. What are you digging up? I don't like that. We'd still like to see the lab completed in 12 months' time. The lab? You're adding a lab? Oh no. The lab that everyone became subjects in? As in, they put in this request for this construction multiple times and it got denied multiple times? To put a lab in Playtime Co? And because it kept getting like that, one person was like, yeah, I'll do it, but it has to be a secret because I'm not supposed to. Eddie! We'd like to see the lab completed in 12 months' time, but what's most important is that it's done right. Well, how is that most important if this has to be a secret? Obviously, it's not going to be done right from the very beginning because you don't have the authorization to do it except for the people asking for it to be done. Let me know if these terms will work for you. I'm happy to negotiate until we find something that both parties can be happy with. Take care, Eddie M.N. Ruderman. Eddie. Okay, if I'm reading this correctly, I'm reading it as Eddie is the construction guy. And if that is correct, Eddie, that's your job, bro. That is your whole job right there. I think you just got fired. And if Eddie is not the construction guy, and Eddie is the person working for Playtime Co. asking for these things to be done, Eddie is a bad man. Okay, I think we can think that Eddie is a bad man regardless, because you're willing to break your job's rules and going against it because it says at the top. Once again, this is Eddie responding once again on behalf of Playtime Co. Toy Factory. Okay, so no, it's not. He's not working for the construction company. It's written as a letter. So Warren Back Construction Company. He's addressing who he's writing it to, and then saying this is Eddie responding once again on behalf of the Playtime Co. Toy Factory. Okay. I understand what's happening now. Eddie wants there to be a lab built within the toy factory, and he's writing multiple letters to this construction company, to Warren Back, and is stating very clear things that he wants done. And I think, based off of the words that is said here, that when they responded to his letter, they were asking about it being a secret, and he said, yes, it must be in complete secrecy. This project should only be known about by those with authority at Warren Back, and those with the authority here at Playtime. So that's a very limited group of people. There's a group of people that know about the lab and want the lab to be there, and then there's the team that's building the lab, and those are the only people that are allowed to know. And he's willing to pay upwards of $100,000. And he said to keep in mind that that is a ballpark figure, which means it could be more, but possibly less. All right, Eddie, I don't trust you. Employee instructions. Proctoring in the game station. Instructions. Okay, so now we're going to understand Mateo and Sarah's job. Start by reporting to the control station. Okay. Always keep a minimum distance of 20 yards away from mommy longlegs. Why? Oh, the answer is because mommy longlegs is hostile with workers. And Mateo and Sarah are workers, therefore 20 yards away from her. Got it. The train will arrive with the children at 8 a.m. All children will be theirs inside the game station all at once. That is interesting wording. All children will be theirs inside the game station all at once. The order of the games Eppled be musical memory, Whack-A-Wuggy, then statues. A series of bridges and doors from the control station should guide you to each game. Mommy Longlegs can assist in escorting the children to each game. Only one child should ever play a game at a time. Children who are not playing a game will wait in the game station. There is playground equipment to keep them entertained. Record each child's performance as it is relevant to each game. Musical memory, composure, memory, pattern recognition. Whack-A-Wuggy, hand-eye coordination, reaction time. Statues, agility, strength, and speed. Once the children have left for the day, return to the control station. Give all reports, MS Stella Graber, to sort through. Why am I saying MS? It's Miss Stella Graber. Okay, so let me get this straight. You took a rat and you fed it 3 times a day for like 2 weeks. And then you killed it. And then you preserved its body in some sort of gel that's from a poppy flower. And then you used shock therapy to revive said rat. And the rat never survived. Like, it never was revived. And then you said, maybe this will work on something bigger. Okay. And then you had an entire lab built at the Playtime Co. factory where you build toys for little children so that you can take your studies from the rats and put them into children. And then somehow you got Mommy Longlegs, which I'm thinking is Emily, I think her name was? Marie. Which makes sense, because it would have been a coworker who did this to Marie. Marie's like, I don't trust coworkers. Coworkers killed me and turned me into Mommy Longlegs. So yeah, I'm gonna be hostile when a coworker is by me. 20 feet. Okay? That makes sense. So you built this lab, you turned Marie into Mommy Longlegs, and then you put her in charge of protecting the children. Even though you are taking the children and doing exactly that with the children, right? Because what I'm getting from this, when we're reading, when we're reading the instructions here, we're talking about the ability to have composure, memory, and pattern recognition, hand-eye coordination, reaction time, agility, strength, and speed. You're testing these children to see how well in those things they are. Which in my head means that you want them to have those, those good You want those elements of them to be higher, because obviously if you're making an experiment, you want them to have all of these things. So you're going to test these children to see how well they're doing in all of these things, to know if they're a good candidate. That is what I'm reading from this. Oh, I'm going to take this kid and I'm going to put this kid through three tests to see how well they can do. And if they pass my test, well, then they're now my experiment. If these tests aren't them already being an experiment. So what happens to those that fail? Do they just die? Are they being turned into other creatures like Marie? All right, we got one more form. It's a formal request form. Formal request form. Name, Dr. Matthew Wason. We got a doctor up in here. Okay, this has got to be good. Nature of request. Windows in game station. Why is a doctor requesting windows in a game station? Here's the why. I don't know if you ever spent weeks on end in a windowless, artificially lit room, but let me tell you something, it's far from pleasant. The kids are getting rowdy too. You can just see it on their faces. I know there's not really a way to get natural light down here, but there's other ways, right? I'm thinking about fake windows all around. Do that and bam, there's some actual life down here. I saw it on TV last week. This underground place had fake windows. Big lights behind glass. It makes the whole place feel sunlit. It's nice. You want everyone in the right headspace for these games, don't you? Do the right thing. Add windows. They got a doctor down here? It's bad enough that they're running these test subjects, but they got a doctor down here? They know that it's going to go sideways. They know that these children are going to get got. So the doctor is asking for windows because his conscience is showing. That's what this is. Your conscience is showing. You know that you're doing some absolute bullshit to these kids, and you're trying to give them an ounce of hope. I can't tell if that's more fucked up or something in the right direction. It's a fake window. Where are they gonna go? That's false hope right there. That's false hope. If I'm trapped in a room and I'm forced to do this game that I don't want to do by myself nonetheless, with these scary creatures, and I'm running from them, and I see a window, I'm gonna try to go through the window so that I can get to safety. Imagine my surprise when behind the window is a light and not outside. That is fucked up, dude. Matthew, you're going to hell. You're a doctor. Are you kidding me? I'm at a loss for words with this. You all knew exactly what you were doing. You knew exactly what you were doing. You're literally a doctor. You're there to aid these children when they get hurt. That's the only explanation for a doctor to be here. And the fact that you are you want them in the right headspace for these games? He says, do the right thing, as if the right thing is to add in false windows. Doing the right thing is to not have this be happening at all. The right thing is to not use these children and these employees as test subjects. The right thing is to not build this lab that has to be a secret. And to have experiments. That's the right thing. What do you mean, do the right thing and add? No. Add an actual window. You want to do the right thing? Add an actual window. One that they can escape from when they realize that they're in danger. These poor children, these poor babies. I can't believe the audacity. The straight audacity. Anyways, that's the last lore that we have for the game. All right. I can't wait to see what chapter 3 brings us with lore and more information. Like, I need to go back and look at some other things because it is clicking in my brain. You know, originally I was thinking that Dr. Matthew Wason was there to aid the children, but now I'm kind of thinking that he wasn't there to aid the children. He probably works in the lab that was secretly made, and he's probably hired to run these test subjects. He's probably the one running the experiments, not the one trying to help the children. Which makes sense as to why his making things better would be to add in false windows. Because he doesn't care about the kids. He's the one doing this to them.